Hi everyone, I'm Eric Castiglione, owner and head coach of Viking Athletics, and this is going to be a 10-minute follow-along thoracic mobility series. We're going to be doing 4 drills, and all you need is a foam roller. If you do it along with the video, it should take you less than 10 minutes, and that's including transition time and time for instructions. We're going to be doing 4 drills. We're going to foam roll our lats for 2 minutes per side. We are going to do 3-way T-spine mobilization. That's a minute in 3 different positions. We're going to do 1 minute of snow angels, and we're going to do 2 sets of 10 thoracic rotations in each direction. So this can be done on your own at home. This can be done pre-workout. If you're going to be doing anything overhead, it's a good idea to open up your thoracic spine. We're talking about the area where your rib cage exists. So ignoring the low back, ignoring your neck, we're targeting everything in between. So let's get started. First one, we are going to foam roll our lats. And we want base of the armpit all the way down the side. So I'm going to spend 2 minutes here. I'm going to use my lower body to move up and down. I'm starting out with my palm down. If I find something that feels particularly crunchy, I can roll back and forth, get a little, call it a sawing action right there. I can also try to mobilize the joint a little bit more by moving through a range of motion. I can do thumbs up, back to palm down. This is what we call a long lever position where my arm is fully extended. If you have trouble with your front rack position, we can try to move in and out of that as well. A little bit more of a short lever position since my arm is bent. And we're just gonna work until 2 minutes is up. Again, focusing on those particularly crunchy spots. And if you find this to be rather unpleasant, which many people do, it just means you need to do it more frequently. If you do it pretty regularly, it will be less painful. As I'm doing this, I can also work on moving my hand farther back and really opening up that overhead range. Again, still using the same techniques. When I move up and down, I want to use my lower body to move me. I can get some rotation in, thumbs up, palm back down, and I can saw back and forth, side to side. I can focus on the front a little bit more. Same thing, move up and down, and just really open up that whole lat. Coming up on 2 minutes, so we're going to switch to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing. Palm down, starting at the base of my armpit here. That's crunchy, just felt a nice pop as my shoulder went back into place. This side tends to give me a lot of trouble, so I'm going to open up a little bit more, lean into it, saw back and forth. Once that stops working, again, I can get some short lever positions, rotate the elbow, move in and out of that front rack position. I'm going to move on down a little bit lower into the rib cage here. Why 2 minutes? Well, honestly, anything is better than nothing. And if you're doing this pre-workout, you might be better served just doing 1 minute. But for any lasting change, we need a minimum dose of 2 minutes. If I do 1 minute only, that will only last me for that particular training session. It's a short-term change as opposed to long-term. And if you're going to be doing this at home, we want it to be a lasting change. So it's been about 90 seconds. Our next drill is the 3-way thoracic mobility. I'm going to be rolling on my back, targeting my T-spine. And there's 3 different drills we're going to do. They all essentially roll the same muscles, which is why we can get away with 1 minute per position. We're targeting the T-spine for 3 minutes instead of 2. We're just moving in different ways. So that's what's next. I'm going to start with this up by my shoulder blades. And the first one, all I'm going to do is give myself a big old hug. And I'm going to, again, using my lower body to move me, just go nice and slow. Remember to breathe during these. If I'm holding my breath, I am keeping tension, and we're trying to release tension, so I don't want to do that. Nice and slow, about an inch at a time. I can get a little bit of leaning to the side in here if I've got one shoulder blade that tends to be a little bit tighter than the other. Side to side is okay. Again, searching for those crunchy spots. But the biggest thing is we're trying to get some big motion in here. It's been just about a minute. So for the next one, same thing. But instead of giving myself a hug, I'm now really working on my overhead position. Hips are off the ground. I'm reaching up, thumbs down towards the ground. If I can touch the ground with my knuckles or my thumb, even better. That shows me that I'm really opening up overhead. But ultimately, it's the same thing. I can get a little side-to-side action. It's exactly what I was just doing. But instead of hugging myself, I'm now reaching up overhead to open up that position. If you feel any cracking or popping as you do this, that's perfectly normal. Got about 10 seconds. For the last one, I'm going to find the tightest spot that I can, which for me is right here. And for the third drill, what I'm going to do is drop my hips. I'm going to curl forward like I'm doing a crunch. And then I'm going to reach back up overhead. And I'm going to alternate back and forth nice and slowly for a minute. If that spot starts to feel good, I'm going to move a little bit farther down my spine. Now I'm below the shoulder blades. Same thing. So we opened up that range. We gave ourselves a hug to tighten the tissues in our back, and then we reached overhead to tighten them in a different direction. And now we're working through both, adding a little bit of motion to what we were doing. So it's been just about a minute. The next one is the snow angel. A similar kind of idea. We're going to use the foam roller and move on it. This time I want it to be parallel to my body. It's going up and down my spine. I'm not going to roll side to side here. I want to move my arms exactly like the name says. I'm doing snow angel. I want to eventually get my knuckles down to the ground. The lower I can go, the better. If that doesn't seem to be doing anything for you, you don't feel any tension, you can also add a Cuban rotation in there where I am in a short lever position, both arms bent. Get a little internal rotation and extend from there. It's another option. If you have trouble getting your knuckles to the ground, this is a good drill for you. So we started this at about the 15-second mark. So we got 15 seconds left to go. And when we're done with this, we no longer need the foam roller. We're going to be doing some thoracic rotations. I'm going to be in a quadruped position for that. So I'm on all fours. And as the name says, it's a thoracic rotation. So I want to keep my low back, my lumbar spine locked, and all my rotation is coming in my upper back. I'm going to go ahead and put my hand lightly on my head here, keeping my low back locked. I'm rotating down and up. It's a smaller range of motion than you might think. Nice and controlled. That's 10 to that side. Same thing other way. See if things feel about even, or if one side feels worse than the other. I know for me, I've got a knot behind my right shoulder blade, which I can feel towards the top here. I think that was 7. Might have miscounted. We're going to do one more set. And 10 more the other way. All right, so nice, quick 10-minute series for your thoracic mobility. Use it, enjoy, I hope it helps.